In episode 5, we're talking all things trains, using questions submitted by you, our audience, to interview local railroading experts and enthusiasts. Follow along with us to test your train knowledge and discover interesting facts and opinions about life on the rails.
An engineer operates the locomotives, and that's the primary responsibility. The conductor is actually in charge of the train, and that means they file the reports, and they're the person that signs off on a lot of the stuff.
So really there's two aspects of operating a steam locomotive, the physical and the mental. The physical side of it is, in a steam locomotive, it's a very hot, dirty environment. On the mental side, you're always concerned about safety and the safety of passengers, and that stands true to any locomotive engineer today. So you're always having to operate the locomotive and move the various valves and mechanisms while concentrating on where the train is going and looking for signals that allow you to proceed or stop, or looking for railroad crossings, which you have to blow the whistle at. So you're basically dealing in a very harsh physical climate, and then you're also having to have a lot of mental anguish over thinking about all of the things that you're going to see along your route that day.
Depends on what kind of service you're in. I was in, for most of my career, what they call unassigned service. Why is it called unassigned? You don't have assigned days off. You don't have an assigned starting time. And most engineers on Class 1 railroads live this way. You're assigned to either a pool or what they call an extra board. And typically, you get a 2-hour call. You don't know when you're going to get the call. They give you, but work-life balance, it's very tough.
The standard gauge in the United States is 4 feet 8.5 inches. Narrow gauge is more or less standard at 3 feet, and that is primarily used in mining. Those are the two pretty much prevalent gauges in use in the United States. I believe Russia still has some wide gauge, and they're 5 feet. So it depends a little bit on the country.
There are about 700 railroads in the United States. They're divided into 3 different classes, and it depends on how much revenue, i.e. money, that each one generates.
There is either the turntable, which is basically a pivot, or what is called a Y. And you go up one side, that way, and then back this way.
I think that in America, more passenger trains aren't used because of the greater distances people have to travel. In Europe, you quite frequently see high-speed rail between small metropolitan cities where the trains are moving maybe an hour to 2 hours. In the United States, it's much more difficult because of the distances that we have to travel. Additionally, you'll find that most of the railroads in America are private corporations that haul freight. Around the world, most of the railroads are actually owned by the government, so they control the trackage, whereas in America, these are all private companies that own the track, and therefore the priority is to move goods and service across those tracks, not people.
When railroads were first starting, they simply did not make money. They expanded so fast that they outgrew the money that was coming in.
There is really no one particular beautifulest train route in the world. It all depends on what you like. Our nonprofit organization runs steam tours all over the world. We run trips in Russia, Germany, China, England, Ireland, Scotland. So there's a lot of beautiful railroads all over the world, whether you're cruising along the Rhine in Germany or you're traveling to County Cork in Ireland. But my personal favorite would be the Harry Potter train, leaving Fort William and going over the Glenfinnie Viaduct to the little town of Maylig, which is on the west coast of Scotland.
Thanks to all our viewers and those who submitted questions for this episode.